just received a package today from Tecentralen with 4 different types of tea blends, and I actually don't know that much about tea, so we're going to learn more about tea together and also try some tea. And yeah, let's get started. So the first blend that I bought and that I have tasted today is called Reins fruit. And also I should inform you that I will be speaking in both English and Swedish in this video. And this crinkling is so loud, so I'm trying to be gentle with it. So on the back of this bag it says Reins fruit, which is basically fruit from the rainforest. En smak som kan beskrivas som fruktig och blommig på samma gång. Ingredienser: grönt te, arom, solrosblommor, rosknoppar, naturlig arom. Dosering: 3 gram per 2 deciliter. Och vattentemperatur är 80 grader per 80 grader Celsius. Bryggtid är 3 minuter och antal bryggningar rekommenderas då bara 2 gånger. So this is a green tea, and I like that the packages or the bags have these adjustable thingies. It's really nice. So I'm reading from this website called The Spruce Eats. So if you guys are interested in reading more, then I'll link the website in the description below. What is green tea? Green tea is a type of tea made from the leaves of the tea plant. In parentheses, Camellia sinensis. It's an evergreen shrub that originated in the southwest forest region of China. Specifically, green tea comes from the Chinese tea plant. It thrives in high elevations with cool temperatures and has a sweeter, softer taste than the other tea plant varietal, which is used primarily for black teas. It's kind of hard to understand if you're not reading it like on screen, because they're referring to the different types of teas in Latin in parentheses. Japan and China dominate green tea production, and all tea leaves are harvested by hand. With green tea, the leaves are preserved with heat immediately after harvest, whereas black tea leaves are left to oxidize before they're dried. And in Japan, green tea is dried with steam, while Chinese green teas are processed with dry heat using an oven-like drum or wok-like vessel. Most green tea is comprised of the tea leaves alone. Some Japanese types use only stems or combine them with the leaves. Since it contains caffeine, it's best to drink green tea during the daytime. And how to drink green tea. Unlike black tea, green tea does not need cream, sugar, and other additives, which may even reduce its health benefits. A squeeze of lemon juice is a nice boost of flavor for some types of green tea. Most green tea is brewed with simmering water between 150 Fahrenheit and 180 Fahrenheit. The brewing times vary by the type, though they're generally short. Steamed Japanese green teas require just 30 seconds, and others may go as long as 4 minutes. Brewing green tea too long will make it bitter. Always follow the recommendation for time and temperature provided with the specific tea that you're brewing. And I've got a few pages about tea from this company, and it's in Swedish. So they start with this page where they introduce tea, like what is tea? Vad är te? Te har odlats i tusentals år i Kina och har spelat en stor roll, såväl ekonomiskt som kulturellt, i många länder. I Sverige har intresset för te varierat med tiden, och vi tycker oss se en ökad nyfikenhet kring te och tekultur. Alla känner förstås till te, och te är världens största dryck, näst vatten. Men vad är det egentligen? Var kommer alla olika sorter från? Te odlas på många håll, och jordmån, klimat och annat påverkar förstås smaken. Här till vänster är en teplockare i indiska Darjeeling-distriktet. Lika viktigt för smaken är vad som händer i processen efter plockningen. Se avsnittet om tillvärmning nedan. And then there's more, not more, but there's history. And it's marked by years. Fem tips för bästa koppen. 5 tips for getting the best cup of tea. Första tipset. Te av bra kvalitet. 2. Friskt vatten. Det är jätteviktigt att du använder rent vatten som är mjukt, det vill säga har lågt pH-värde. På de flesta håll i Sverige är vattnet mjukt, men om du har en egen brunn eller bor på någon annan plats där det kommunala vattnet är hårt, kan det löna sig att köpa ett vattenfilter. Och det tredje tipset är rätt tillbehör. Och fjärde är metod. Och femte är situation och miljö. Oh, here it says professional tea tasters. They can try 300 to 500 types of tea in a day. That sounds crazy. Det kan handla om att prova fram vilka plantor ett teplantage ska använda för att ta sticklingar av. Sticklingar, what is that? Sticklingar. Eller kanske för att avgöra hur mycket man är beredd att betala för olika partier med te. De stora teföretagen har provare som varje dag balanserar smaker, då de ingående sorterna smakar olika från leverans till leverans. Interesting. interesting. My camera's overheating. Oh, the cup that I'm going to use later for the tea looks like this. It's so gorgeous. I bought a tea filter. I don't think this is suited for the cup that I'm going to use, but we're going to make it work. I used this one before today, and it's very easy to use. It's very easy to clean. If you compare it to those round clippy ones, don't like those. They're way too hard to clean because you have to shake it and like hit it and then also scrape it out, which is kind of annoying. And even then, not all of the tea leaves really come out. So that's a bummer. So I'm very curious if any of you guys are tea drinkers, and if that's the case, what kind of tea do you drink? What blend? And black tea, green tea, oolong, or maybe some completely other type of tea. I saw there was some white tea and yellow tea. I don't even know what they are. And also rooibos, I think that's how you pronounce it. I have this container with water in it. I'm very curious about this one, Mulberry, Hallown. I don't know what Mulberry is in English, but Hallown is raspberry. Men ett grönt te som bas blir det här en bärig upplevelse. So, according to the back of this bag, this tea is going to be very berry tasting. Guys, you guys should get some tea. Like, just to smell it. Like, oh, it smells so good. Recommended dose is 3 grams. recommendation for the brewing time is 2 to 3 minutes. So while we wait, I can show you the containers that I bought. I bought this to put in the tea leaves, the tea blends, but I didn't know beforehand that they would have these adjustable things. So I don't actually need this. But the cool thing about these containers are that they have double lids, which is very good for storing the tea. This is so neat because you can just put this filter like on this. So now we're gonna try the Mulberry Hallown blend. I don't know if this is a common thing with teas, but they don't taste as much as they smell. Like, of course, they can't taste as much as they smell, but this blend didn't taste nearly as much as the scent. Maybe I just need to put it a little bit longer. We'll see. I'm gonna set it aside for a little bit and we'll continue with the next tea. So next up is Dragon Rose. So this is a black tea from China that contains roses and jackfruit, and also some sunflower and fruktig exotisk blandning, kinesiskt svart te smaksatt med ros och jackfrukt. Ingredienser: svart te, arom, solrosblommor, rosblommor och rosknoppar. Dosering: 2-3 gram per 2 deciliter. Vattentemperatur 100 grader Celsius. Och bryggetid 4-6 minuter. Och antal bryggningar är rekommenderat 1 gång. I don't think that I liked this tea as much as the one that I tried earlier today called Reins frukt. This, in my opinion, tastes a little bit too bland and uninteresting, but I'll try it again another time and maybe that will change my opinion on So now moving on to black tea. So what is black tea? It is a true tea, I don't know what that means, that comes from the Camellia sinensis plant. Isn't that the same plant as green tea? Black tea leaves are allowed to fully oxidize before being processed and dried, which makes the leaves dark brown and gives the tea its signature flavor profile. Black teas tend to be bold and brisk, and they're often described as astringent. Discovered in China in the mid-17th century, black tea was the first type of tea to be introduced to Europe and the Middle East. And some black teas are intended to be drunk with milk and or sugar, while others are self-drinkers, meaning teas that are best without anything added. Teas that are traditionally drunk with milk and or sugar include masala chai, English breakfast, and Assam black tea. Of all the types of tea, black tea is usually the easiest to steep. Use about 1 teaspoon of tea leaves per cup of hot water. The water can be at a rolling boil or nearly boiling. Place the leaves in the boiling water and steep the tea leaves for 2 to 6 minutes. The timing will depend on your tastes and the type of black tea. Darjeeling black teas usually taste better with a shorter steep, for example. Strain out the tea leaves and drink the liquid as is, or add milk, sugar, or lemon as desired. And it says you can use cold water and cold steep your tea for 4 to 18 hours in the fridge and then strain out the leaves. To make iced black tea, double the amount of tea leaves. Steep the tea as usual and then pour the hot tea over the ice. Generally speaking, black tea contains between 50 to 90 milligrams of caffeine per cup. However, there are many factors influencing caffeine levels in tea that may make a particular cup of black tea higher or lower, including the tea varietal, the way it is brewed, and whether the leaves are whole or broken. Black tea beverages that include other ingredients like milk and spices will have a lower amount of caffeine than a cup of straight black tea. Yes, so that was it for the reading of black tea. I'm not gonna drink any black tea tonight because I will not be able to sleep. Okay, so the last tea that I'm going to be reading about is Oolong Tea, and I thought maybe I can try out some hand movements or maybe even brushing the camera a little bit while I read. So let's see. So oolong tea is a type of tea that is sometimes called oolong, also pronounced oolong, or black dragon tea. And oolong teas are semi-oxidized teas. They are sometimes called semi-fermented teas, though this moniker is considered to be less technically correct than semi-oxidized teas. After the tea leaves are picked, they are rolled and allowed to oxidize. Oxidation produces floral notes that characterize many oolongs. Shaping. Curious, there was no shaping segment for the other two teas. Oolongs are often alternately rolled and shaped, which allows for more complex, nuanced flavors, more controlled oxidation, and more intricate shaping. Common shapes for oolong teas include semi-ball or ball shapes and wiry, twisted shapes. Balled and semi-balled oolongs are best enjoyed over many infusions, preferably in Yixing teaware with Gongfu style brewing. After oxidation and partial shaping, oolongs are heated to halt oxidation and carefully shaped one last time. Beyond this basic heating, many oolongs are roasted. The roasting process can give oolongs darker aromas and flavors, akin to ripe fruits, especially stone fruits, nuts, roasted grains, caramel, coffee, or chocolate. That range in oxidation, shaping, and roasting makes oolong tea a broad category of tea with an enormous span of flavors and aromas stretching from fresh, clean, and grassy, vegetal to dark, roasty, fruity, and even espresso-like. Since they are so lightly oxidized, some people separate bao zhong or pao zhong. I don't know how to pronounce it, I'm butchering it. Oolong teas into a separate category of green oolong teas. I completely butchered the last sentence, but that's okay. I will link the website down below so you can read it for yourself if you want to. So most oolong teas hail from China, especially from Fujian province and the Wuji mountain range, and from Taiwan. These regions are particularly famous for their skillfully handmade oolong teas. However, in recent years, other countries, notably India and Sri Lanka, have begun to produce oolong tea, usually on a large scale in a factory setting. In Taiwan, some oolongs are aged for for many years for a more refined, subtle flavor. And that's it for the oolong reading. I forgot to mention, but I got a free packet of tea. This one is Korea Jeju. All the teas that I got were very well packaged. If you live in Sweden, I highly recommend you to buy your teas from this company. And the delivery time is quite quick as well. I got the package 2 days after ordering it. So I hope you guys enjoyed this ASMR session, and if you have any requests, just mail me, and I would appreciate it if you guys subscribed and liked the video, and maybe even support me on my Patreon. Would be very appreciated. So I'll see you guys in the next video.